everyone. Today I just want to do a quick video to show you guys how to build a custom portal using effects and essential housing tools. There are actually a number of different ways you could do it. In fact, there are even real portals that actually jump you from one house to another house of yours or another player's, like a guild hall or whatever. But today I'm just going to start with the basics of how to create something using the effects that's custom. It won't actually be one of those portals, it's just going to be a gigantic vortex, I guess, in the center of this arena in my island house. So, for anyone who's not familiar with adding effects from essential housing tools, you always want to start in editor mode, so your F5, mouse over the EHT button here, and you see this essential effects menu when you do. Click that, go to the add tab, and you can see all the different categories of effects that you can add to your house. So I'm going to use two different types of effects to create this vortex. I believe both are in the animations category here, so we're going to add first an actual vortex effect. Notice how when you mouse over a vortex, or I'm sorry, any effect, it actually is showing you a preview of it. So I'm going to click that vortex and add it. And here you see the actual effect now that I've added to the house. With any of these effects, you can position them, you can scale them, change their size, and you can rotate them so you can flip them upside down, whatever you want to do. You can also change their color. So actually that's what I'm going to do in this case, is move these effects into the center of this arena. And actually this scary face thing is sort of the item that I built this entire arena around as the center point. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click the select button on the effect editor. Notice how that changes to deselect, it's a toggle. I'm going to open up the EHT main window, and you'll see here that now I've got this vortex selected. When you select an effect, it adds it to the selection list just like any other item. Like I could select the scary face thing as well. And it'll treat it just like as if it's a piece of furniture. So you can actually use all the tools that are available at your disposal in EHT to manipulate effects just like you can with furniture items. So in this case, I want to make sure that that vortex is in the center of this arena, so I'm going to use the Change These Items dropdown and choose Center Group on Target. And now it's telling me to click an item, so I'm going to choose this face thing. And you see that it's now moved the effect to be directly centered over the face thing and thus in the center of the arena. So now that I know it's in the center, I'm actually going to move it up so that it's sort of above this center focal point here. Maybe a little more. And now I can right click it to deselect it here, or I could have started a new selection, either one would work. And I'm going to click its paint can to bring the editor, the effect editor back up. Now I'm going to use this to make this substantially larger. I want this to sort of be like an all-consuming vortex looming over this arena. So I'm going to make it quite big. And that's really big. Okay, that's good. Next, I want to create, what I want to do is I want to have 3 vortices, so 2 moving in one direction and the other moving in reverse. I think that should create a cool looking effect. So I'll have 2 of this direction, so I'm going to go ahead and clone this one. And that looks quite ominous. I'm going to shrink the clone down and then lower it quite a bit. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to change the color of it so we can actually see where the heck it is. Okay, so we've got our 2 vortices moving in that direction. I'm going to lower this substantially because anyone who's worked with the effects knows that when any effects are overlapping one another, they can start flickering, or what's called Z-fighting. So you want to avoid that, obviously. So I'm going to lower this quite a bit to make sure that we don't have any conflicts, because the third vortex I'm going to put in between these 2. So I'm going to just clone this one and make this like a, I don't know, a dark purple, and move this center one up sort of in between them. So if I leave the effect editor, I can look at their paint cans to sort of get an idea of where they are in relation to one another. So I think I can actually move this smallest one up a little bit, probably even more. Okay, that should probably be good. So I'm going to edit the middle one, the purple one, and I'm going to rotate it twice with Alt being held down. So that should flip it over in place. And I'm going to make it much larger. So we've got this sort of graduated sizes going on here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this one going in this direction the smaller one. So actually I'm going to lower it, shrink it down, make it blue, and I'm going to use these edit previous and next arrows here to go to the previous effect. That should get me on the other one that was the smallest. I'm going to make that one purple and expand it out like that. And now I can actually, I should be able to move that up quite a bit without it conflicting with the top one. Let me just see where they are. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the next effect, which should be that blue one, and it is. And there we go. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Okay. And now actually I think I'm going to add a fourth vortex just in the center. This one I'm going to use, there's actually a vortex reverse. And that is literally the same thing, but the dark spot is actually on the underside. Let me see here. Yeah, so this one should actually be spinning in reverse without having to flip it. Let me use the same trick as I did before to select it, change these items, center group on target, put it on scary face, and then just move that up just to know that it's definitely centered in the middle there. And I'm going to deselect it by making a new selection just to show you how you can do it that way. And pull it back up in the effect editor. And this time, I think I'm going to make it, there we go, like basically black, just to look like a really ominous center point. Okay, so now we've made that with 4 different vortices, the last of which I actually used the actual reverse form of the vortex. Not all of them have that, because not all effects are animated like that, but this particular one does have the vortex and the vortex reverse. So now the other thing I want to put in the center, just to give it a little more interest in the center, to draw the eye there I guess, is I'm going to use a whirlpool. And a whirlpool sort of looks like, if you can see it there, like water, like a water whirlpool I guess, I'm not sure. I'm going to select it though, want to make sure that it's centered, change these items, center group on scary face, and we're going to move that up there, like so. And I'll deselect it, and I'll put up the editor, and I want to make it pretty dark because I don't want it to be too visible or to occlude the dark black hole sort of thing in the center there. But now I'm going to just sort of expand it a little bit so that it's covering the center point, but again not hiding it. And actually I think that looks good. That's pretty decent. So using just a handful of effects, you can create this sort of custom vortex point. This could actually be flipped on its side, so it could be facing vertically if you wanted. But I think that's actually perfect for this arena right now. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time. I hope you learned something. Let me know if you have any questions. I try to make myself available whenever I can. And otherwise, I'll be back for the next video soon. Thanks. Bye.